Cookie Run Kingdom, aka the most popular game out of the whole Cookie Run franchise, and made even more popular because of this blue little guy. Anyways, for those who've played this game, you might have realized that there are more original Kingdom characters than cookies from other games, and to be honest, that's not bad at all. However, I feel like CRK should add more oven break cookies, because there's like more than 100 of these guys, and I feel like they deserve more love and appreciation, because they're not as popular as other cookies, like the Beasts and the Ancients. And since I'm tired of waiting a few years for these cookies to come out already, I'll just share a list of cookies from Common 1 CRK, like right now! Chess Choco Cookie, also known as Pawn White Cookie and Pawn Black Cookie, are just little kids who just want to play a little game of chess. Like, can you honestly turn down 2 children who simply want to play a simple game of chess? Well, you shouldn't, cause they don't play just any ordinary chess. They play chess, but big. Oh, wait, that's not that bad, right? Well, 2 things you gotta know about their chess is that, number 1, you can't leave until you win, and number 2, even if you win, they'll crash out. And nah, they aren't the only cookies that play this crazy chess game, there's another guy. Meet Earl Grey Cookie, concierge, hotel owner, and father figure to these little guys. He's just a chill guy who likes to help people any way he can. And despite how many crash outs and stuff the pawn cookies do, he'll clean up their mess anytime. Mad respect. Oh, did I also mention that they're tied to the COD? Okay, the cookies of darkness. Sure, Earl Grey's not that bad of a guy, but in Chess Choco's description, they have a bigger game in mind. Probably deadly. Much more deadly than their big chess game. Why? Because you're brave and the rest of the gang, duh. It's kind of what the COD does, stop anyone willing to stop their plans. So, how will Pawn White, Pawn Black, and Earl Grey be tied into CRK? Well, I have a theory. Since Earl Grey's hotel is pretty much empty, maybe his hotel is located in Beasties where the COD are doing their experiments. And maybe Dark Enchanters can use these guys to distract Gingerbread, the Ancients, and the rest of the good guys, so that they won't find the laboratory or something like that. Oh, and one last thing, Chess Choco better step up their game after Shadow Milk's version of chess. Time to lock in, kids! Next up is a fandom favorite, Sugar Glass Cookie. She has an amazing design, and I genuinely thought that she was going to become playable during Moonlight Cookie's release. But she didn't, and that kind of made me mad. But I still held my hopes up high no matter what, because since Moonlight Cookie was becoming less meta, I predicted that she'll get a crystal gem soon, and maybe, possibly, Sugar Glass will come out too! But when Moonlight Cookie received her crystal gem, there was no Sugar Glass Cookie. I was starting to lose faith in her release. But then I remembered that Milky Way Cookie has the future magic candy in the works, so maybe it should come out this time. Predictions aside, let me lore down about Sugar Glass. Sugar Glass was created in the city of wizards and was tasked to tend to the city's greenhouse, which has flowers that contain memories. But after the wizards disappeared for God knows how long, Sugar Glass was like,
you know what? I'm leaving this place to go search for a better greenhouse and maybe a better life. Let's go, Amber Sugar.
You probably don't know who Amber Sugar is, right? Ah! Amber Sugar Cookie is Sugar Glass's best friend, and just like her, he has an amazing design, and I want him in Kingdom, like right now! Unlike Sugar Glass, he wasn't created by the wizards, though. Nah, he was raised by bees, cause he's bee-like. Duh. It was until that he left in search of a better house, and when he saw Sugar Glass's greenhouse, it was checkmate! Eventually, the two became besties and tended the greenhouse together, but once the wizards were gone, they left. Period. But when will we see the two of them again? Is there a chance that they'll release when Milky Way receives her magic candy? Time will tell. After Stardust Cookie returns Sugar Glass's flower. And speaking of time, Timekeeper Cookie, another fan favorite, is one of the CRK fan's most popular cookies like ever. They have the ability to manipulate time to their will and don't care if they're causing a little tomfoolery. If I had to classify them, they'd be chaotic neutral, cause they don't really pair up with good or bad. Timekeeper is Timekeeper. After all. Another thing is that they're the director of the TBD, short for the Time Balance Department, responsible for everything time. And sure, some shenanigans happen, but after they occur, everything's fine and swell. But is it possible that the TBD, as well as Timekeeper Cookie, could be in CRK? Yes, actually. In Twisty Gummy Cookie's debut event, Croissant Cookie, a member of the TBD, a wrestler, which proves that the TBD exists within the CRK universe, and that also means that Timekeeper must exist as well. But how would they be introduced, though? Well, I heard a theory that Timekeeper might appear during CRK's 5th anniversary after the Beasties arc, because the game has to maintain popularity, right? The theory is basically after the Beasties arc is over, Timekeeper will appear and cause a new arc for the main characters, probably because they think that the ending would be a bit too cliche. Broski, just leave the MCs alone. They did nothing to you! And that's basically the list of all the cookies I want in CRK. Or is it? Because there is one last cookie, who happens to be my favorite cookie out at the mall, that I need to talk about. What if there was a cookie who was the complete opposite of Gingerbrave? Not willing to explore the entirety of Earthbread, not being friendly and outgoing, and being secluded away from any other cookies. Well, there is a cookie like that. Fellas, meet Candlelight Cookie. Candlelight Cookie is basically the antithesis of the MC. Doesn't escape the witch's house, doesn't make friends, doesn't care about the ancients, the gods, the beasts, or anyone else, and, worst of all, doesn't like touching grass. Instead of doing all of that, Candlelight stayed in the witch's attic, taking care of all her treasures. Oh, wait. Their treasures. Yeah. Finders keepers, I guess. Candlelight treats treasures like they are their best friends. In other words, actual cookies, and to be honest, that's a bit silly. Goofy even. But whatever makes them happy, I guess. But because they treat their treasures like friends, protecting them from thieves is no unimportant matter. The burns bit whoever touches their beloved treasures, even if the cookies touching them aren't thieves. Only if you truly understand the inner machinations of Candlelight's mind can you truly become friends with this cookie. But there's just one question. Why live in the witch's attic? Because they love treasures? Well, yeah. But I have a feeling that it's more than just their love for treasures. Heckhen time. One night, the witch was baking 2 batches of cookies. However, candle wax accidentally dropped into the first batch. Without realizing what just happened, the witch molded and baked the cookies into the oven. But what came next resulted in horror. Cookies began coming to life, but were feeling pain all over their bodies. Eventually, almost all of the cookies melted away, never given the chance to experience life. However, one cookie remained determined to get out of the extremely hot oven. Their efforts were eventually awarded with a chance for freedom. Willing to escape, the cookie slowly and stickily climbed up to the witch's table. But just before they could escape through the window, they saw a second batch of cookies ready to be baked. Unlike the cookie, that batch's cookies were golden brown, had icing for hair, were hard and crispy. But just because the cookie was purplish pink, had candle wax for hair, and was soft and sticky, doesn't mean that they are any different from those other cookies, right? That's when they overheard the witch.
Oh, this is a disaster! What could have caused my cookies to end up this way? Whatever got into their dough, they're no longer cookies in my eyes. They're barely even edible. How could I even call them cookies if they don't even taste or look like cookies? For all I know, they rather look like accents to me. Hopefully when I make my next batch, they'd look like actual cookies.
This shook the poor Cookie. An accident. Not even a cookie. How can this be? The Cookie decided to stay until the cookies of the next batch escaped. One by one, they ran out of the oven and headed towards the window. The hidden Cookie saw them running as the witch tried to capture them. Turns out that they looked like cookies to her. As chaos ensued, the Cookie had two choices: either escape the witch's house or stay hidden forever. The Cookie thought about escaping, but were hesitant in thinking how the other cookies would treat them. Would they treat them as their own, or as a monster? Would living outside the witch's house be a good idea anyway? Finally, the Cookie made a decision to stay in the witch's house, but they didn't want to hide in the same place for long, so they went higher up the house and stumbled upon the witch's attic. There, they found the witch's treasures, and that made the little Cookie let out giggles of pure glee. If cookies judge others all the time, then why not be friends with treasures? After all, they won't judge you at all. And so, the cookies stayed in the attic with their newfound treasures, and took care of them every passing day. And that was the story of Candlelight Cookie. Alright, after that huge story, how would they be introduced in Kingdom? I have two theories. Theory number 1. Gingerbread, Pure Vanilla, and the rest of the gang go to the witch's house because, after all, a witch did do the beast binding spell, and maybe, just maybe, they'll meet Candlelight Cookie, or we might have a treasure that can awaken the beasts. I guess getting that treasure from them won't be easy. And theory number 2. In the town square, cookies will spread rumors about treasure in the witch's attic, and Chili Pepper, overhearing this, decides to go and steal treasures for herself. But knowing Candlelight, things will be easy for her. Anyways, thank you for listening to my yapping of a silly introverted autistic candle. You know, for 7 cookies, this video is kinda long, but I'm not the only one wanting their favorite crab cookies to come to Kingdom. A lot of other people want their faves in Kingdom as well. So, as long as you want your favorite crab cookie in 0K, be hopeful. Be very, very hopeful. I swear, if Candlelight doesn't come out this year,